was also a skilled marketer. He knew that machine-powered speed excited many people unlike anything before, and that word of the latest spectacle sent consumers to dealers, where they could buy an automobile of their own. He knew also that cars angered and alienated other people, the horse-bound traditionalists, but with time, he believed, almost everyone would come around. Henry Ford of the Ford Motor Works of Detroit will attempt to lower the world's record, read the handbills Ford had arranged to be posted. The race will cover over a 4-mile straight track on the ice opposite the Hotel Chesterfield. The snow will be cleared from the ice and the track will be sanded. The races will start at 2 o'clock and continue until Mr. Ford lowers the world's record. He proposes to make a mile in 36 seconds. That would greatly eclipse the existing auto record of 84.732 miles per hour, set in 1903. It conceivably would be faster than anyone had ever moved. The claimed land speed record was 112.5 miles per hour by the crew of a locomotive on May 10, 1893, on a stretch of Cornelius Vanderbilt's mighty New York Central Railroad. But in this era, so rife with tall tales, doubt existed that the train, the 999, had really traveled faster than about 90 miles per hour. Nonetheless, the train had generated international headlines, and Ford, hoping to capitalize on its enduring fame, named one of the 2 identical race cars that he built after it. Like that 62-ton locomotive, Ford's 999 Racer and its twin, Arrow, the machine that Ford had brought to frozen Lake St. Clair, were essentially monster motors on wheels, producing as much as 80 horsepower, 10 or more times the power of many stock models. Built to speed, and speed alone, wrote the Automobile and Motor Review. Many in the crowd knew about Ford, this slightly built 40-year-old man with the piercing gray eyes, prominent nose, and long thin hands, who seemed always to have a sly grin on his lips. He had been building and driving horseless carriages around Detroit since 1896, when American-built cars were little more than a dream, and had founded and then left 2 other companies before incorporating a third, the Ford Motor Company, on June 16, 1903. Son of a farmer, raised on a farm outside Detroit, Ford should have been destined to till the land, like so many of his 19th-century peers. But even as a young child, his father's tools fascinated him more than horses or fields, and by the time he turned teenager, machines had become his obsession. At first, it was unpowered machines, the watches and clocks he taught himself to take apart and repair. And then, not long after, he saw his first steam engine. The operator took the time to explain its mechanizations to the boy, and thus was Ford's true destiny revealed to him. Many in the shivering crowd also already knew about Ford's race cars from the man who had steered several of them to national headlines, Barney Oldfield, the greatest American race car driver of the early era, a man even more daring than Ford. A champion bicyclist at age 16, Oldfield had never driven a motor vehicle of any kind until Ford, seeking publicity for his second attempt at an auto company, asked him to race the 999 in a competition. At the time, Ford himself was leery of driving it, except on the test track. Saying he would try anything once, Oldfield, 24, agreed. Ford entered the 999 in the October 1902 Manufacturers' Challenge Cup at Detroit's Grosse Pointe Blue Ribbon Track, venerable home of harness racing, and set about acquainting Oldfield with the car's quirky features. "It took us only a week to teach him to drive," Ford later recalled. "The man did not know what fear was. All that he had to learn was how to control the monster, meaning specifically how to gun it through corners without rolling over. The steering wheel had not yet been thought of," Ford recalled. "On this one I put a 2-handed tiller, for holding the car in line required all the strength of a strong man." While Ford was cranking the 999 to life, Oldfield said, "Well, this chariot may kill me, but they will say afterward that I was going like hell when she took me over the bank."